I want to show you a cool delay trick that you can use in your mixes, and hopefully you find this useful. I find it most useful when transitioning from one part of a song to another drastically different part of a song. So maybe if you had something with like a tempo change, or one part of the song kind of abruptly ends and goes to a second half of a song that has like a completely different feel, well then this delay trick might work for you. So let's jump right into Pro Tools and take a look at this delay trick and see if it would be useful for you. At the very least, you'll know how to do it. Okay, so here I have a Pro Tools session from a song from my band. And it's a pretty cool rock song, but it has a very dramatic change. And it kind of goes from this upbeat part to swingy, Black Sabbath-y kind of part. I want to make something a little bit more interesting in the middle right here. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do is I want to create a subgroup for the vocals. And we're going to call this here vocal sub. We need to give it an input, so I'm going to go to the bus, and here I already have something pre-named from another session, vocal sub. I need to make these three go to the vocal sub. I'm going to highlight all of them, go to output, go to bus, and if I can grab it, I'm going to go to the vocal sub here. So now all of these should be coming out of here. And we can confirm that here. Now I'm going to create a stereo delay, because we're going to add a really cool delay. And I'm going to do that on an aux track here. And we're just going to call this one vocal delay. Let me create a bus track for this as well. And I could just put that right here. Now I'm going to send this delay to the vocal sub. And I could just do that here. Go to bus, grab the vocal delay. And if I take the fader, I could put it up just like this. I need to actually add a delay to this vocal track here. Otherwise, we're not going to hear anything. So I go here, I go delay. And for this example, I'm going to choose Echo Boy because it is one of my favorite delay plugins, and I'm a big fan of the Soundtoys stuff. Let's listen to this effect with eighth notes. It's a really quick effect. But I think what we want to do is actually do a quarter note. So I'm going to bump that up just like this. And that's really cool, but I want to also create a longer feedback loop, so I'm going to increase the feedback. Now what the feedback does is it allows for the delay to repeat for longer. So anytime you see a feedback on any delay or any delay plugin, that's how many repeats it's going to do, and it can go for a long time. If you have it go all the way to max, it'll go for really forever. So now it will sound like this. And we can hear it just go forever. So I'm going to just turn that off here just for a second. We need to actually automate the feedback and the output gain and the bypass of this plugin in order to get this really interesting effect. I'm going to go here to this button, and this allows us to add certain parameters of this plugin to our automation controls. So we're going to add the bypass, we're going to add the output gain, and we're going to add the feedback. Those are the only three things that we're going to need from this. For now, I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to the parameters for the Echo Boy plugin, the automation, and I'm going to go to feedback right here. And we can see now that this green line is representing the feedback level on the actual track. What I'm going to do is on this very last word, I really want it to start on the last word. We want it to kind of go up. I'm going to go here and create a point. And then I'm going to increase the feedback here. We'll bring this down just a little bit here. So now it's going to increase the amount of feedback level after the word ends. It sounds a little bit like this. And that is really cool, but I want it to go even harder a little bit halfway through and get a bit of a washy kind of feel. Now it'll sound like this. we can hear that that quickly gets really out of control if we were just to leave it like that. The output gain can also be changed a little bit as well. Let's go to the output gain controls. We're gonna automate that shortly after this as well to give it just a little bit more presence right after the echo starts to feedback. We're gonna automate the output gain a little bit after this last word to give a little bit more push and a little bit more gain to that feedback loop that happens right after the last word. Now it's going to sound a little bit like this. And that's really cool. But we want it to stop. As soon as it starts to hit that second part where he starts singing again, I want that to be bypassed. We're gonna automate the bypass parameters so that it is only being affected during this part of the song. If I add a point here right before he starts singing this line and a point right here for maybe the very last line, we can turn it on and off. Let's put a second point right here and just do this. It automatically turns off because it's being automated to turn off. Let's go ahead and play it back and it will be affected just right here. What the beginning of time. And that is really cool, but I think we could spice that up a little bit more just to make it a little bit more interesting. Real quick, if you are enjoying this video or learning anything at all, please do me a favor, hit that like button and that subscribe button for more Pro Tools tips and mixing tricks and all things guitar related. Okay, back to the video. So in order to make this a little bit more interesting, I'm actually going to duplicate these 3 tracks right here. I'm gonna come down here and hit duplicate, and it's gonna bring up this parameter. We just need the sends and the active playlist. We don't need all this extra. I don't need any of these extra goodies. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of that. Delete all this. I deleted everything around this first word, and I'm going to actually delete this as well. And really, we only want that first word. I am actually going to make a group of these, and we're gonna call this reverse vocals, because we're gonna reverse them and give it a really interesting sound. I'm gonna go up here to Audio Suite. I'm gonna go to Other. I'm gonna hit Reverse, and we're gonna reverse that track just like this. So now they're all reversed, and it sounds like this. Yes! Yes! Here, let's solo that so you can hear it. Yes! Reverse is always kind of funny and kind of cool. It makes them sound kind of evil and maybe like satanic a little bit or something. Go back to Audio Suite. Now let's go to Reverb, hit Deverb, and I'm gonna leave it on a 4.5 second decay time, but I am gonna boost this pre-delay up just a little bit and leave it on the Hall setting. But I'm actually gonna give it a little bit of an extra time for it to build up. So I'm gonna take my cursor and I'm just gonna highlight this time afterwards, and then I'm gonna hit Render, and it's gonna give it this longer tail. One more time, I go back up to Audio Suite, I hit Other, and I go back to Reverse one more time, and I render it one more time, and now it's got the tail that leads up into this. We're gonna take these 3 vocal tracks and we're going to drag them over so that they align with the first word here. And they're gonna sound like this, by the way. It's really, really cool effect. One of my favorite effects. So if I go ahead and unsolo this, we can hear everything with the music. And that's really cool, but I need a little bit more zazz behind that, so I'm going to take that clip gain and I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit more to give it a little bit more oomph and a little bit more feel in our mix. I'm going to come back here, I'm going to unmute Echo Boy, and I'm going to take the volume and I'm going to bring it back up to 0, to unity gain. Now it's going to sound like this. Can we go what happened? What the beginning of time? I'm gonna bring these volumes up just a little bit as well. So now if I go back here and I play the whole effect together, it's gonna sound like this. What the beginning of time. So that's a really cool effect, and I think it works really well over transitions from one part of a song to another. So there you have it. There is a interesting delay trick that you can use on vocals, or you might even be able to use it on a guitar lead or something like that. But I find it works really well for vocals. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. My name's Cliff, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.